Hey guys, we're here with Noah, who just finished top 8 at Montreal Regionals with Orcust. So huge congrats to you. Any thoughts on this deck for this new format?
Well, I feel like this deck is actually really, really good. Has so much versatility to it, which can play into so many boards. And I think my standing has actually reflected that. Now, what's actually super cool is that I have won two dice rolls in the entire event, and I'm used to going second more, and it's actually plays really, really good going second.
Okay, well, I guess before we jump into the deck profile, definitely want to highlight your YouTube channel, NoahAF. So definitely go check that out. Anything about the channel you want to mention?
I haven't uploaded in a while, but I plan to upload more content, and I want to go into this deck in depth so I can share my thoughts to you guys. And I think that could be very interesting.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into the list then.
Alrighty, so we play triple Gearsu. He's the main starter of your deck, and he's absolutely crazy. The fact he turns himself into a tuner enables so many different plays, and it's a busted card because it forces them essentially to imperm this, and you can sometimes use it as bait, which is really, really nice. For the next card is Armageddon Knight. If you see this and a Gearsu in hand, you can do combos where essentially you're unashable. So you'll like normally Armageddon Knight send the what is he called? The level one Orcust, forget his name. And you can special the Gearsu from hand, and then you can play like that. Or they can just imperm this, and then you can extend past it, and then your Gearsu is still live to use, which is pretty nice. And then for our next starter, we're gonna play One Foolish Burial. Self-explanatory. Can send any Orcus name. It helps you extend. It helps you up names in the grave. Helps in for follow up. The card's absolutely crazy. There's no reason to cut it. It's amazing. I play one World Wand. You only need to really play one. If you play any less than one, then you can't really because this card comes up in the grind a lot. And there's some situations where yes, you can brick on it, but all those times where that came up where I draw it, I won anyways. So it's fine playing at one. Then we play triple Orcus Nightmare. This card was super good because going second, it boosts attack. Going first, it enables consistency. It's a foolish burial, essentially. And you either play two or three, sorry. But yeah, this card's like super, super, super good. There's times where you can just dump it off forests. You draw it off forests, and then you can like go King Sark, send it to grave, which is really nice. And you play the one Brass Bombard. This is the guy I was talking about. He basically unbricks your hand sometimes because if you draw this and an Orcus Nightmare, you can normal this, Link Karibo, special out the Orcus Nightmare from hand, and then you're chilling, which is a really nice play that I've done a few times. Or you can like summon Gearsu. There's so many things you can do. It's really nice. You play the one symbol. This card, you only really need to play one. If you play more than one, it's 100% a win more, and there's no reason to. You can shuffle it from the banner zone. There's so many ways to get it into rotation that you only really need to play one. And then we play the one Harp Horror. This card is, well, you can only really play one, so I'd play more if I could. The card's amazing. A very, very strong card. We play the two King Sark for the Horus engine. This card I really liked. I was considering playing three, but I ended up cutting it for another branded regained. Essentially, what this card does is you discard and then you foolish a Horus monster from your deck, and then you can summon it back using the Horus monster's inherent summons effect things. You play the one happy triple Imseti. Imseti essentially is an upstart goblin that searches this. It's crazy. It dumps Orcus names. Like, oh, that's not it. There we go. But yeah, like this card's very, very good. There's times where I used Imseti, like I do talents, draw two, drew into Imseti, and I go Imseti, dump this in the Nightmare Orcust in hand. I get this and I draw the Gearsu, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of insane. And then next up, we play for the spell traps. Well, for some of them, we play the one Crescendo for the Orcust engine, one Return, one Babel. These are the things you only really need. We only play one Babel because you don't want to brick on it. It doesn't do too much on its own, but it's just really nice to have the option to help you grind. And against Labyrinth, this card just literally cooks the matchup, so you're chilling on that. Return is very, very good. It's basically Pot of Greed that could draw that essentially gets you like +3. It's insane. Dumping Nightmare Orcust or Harp Horror off of this is crazy. I was considering playing more than one, but I really can't fit in the list, and it's not worth cutting the non-engine for. And then we play the one Crescendo. Card's insane. You can negate their normal summon or anything impactful. Just negate banish, and they can't really get access to it, which is really nice. Like against Vanquish Soul a couple times, I just go Crescendo Turbo. I just go Galta, Crescendo Pass, negate their Raisin, and they pass. There's nothing else they can do. And next up, I'm going to go over the Bestial Engine. Play 2 Branded Regained. The reason I was playing 2 is because essentially this card is Pot of Greed that recycles from Banish. It's insane. You essentially just keep on drawing. So you draw on your turn, then you can draw on your opponent's turn, and then you just keep on doing that, and then you can summon back like Magnamut from grave, activate effect. This card's insane. Like, I could see this card at one point being banned just because of how much advantage you actually get off of this. And any grind, like against Runics, against anything, you're just going plus off of this. You're just going plus. And this is the main reason we play the Bestials. Next, we play Triple Lubellion. This card is... He's okay. He's a light monster, unfortunately, so there's times where we get locked out of this, which is pretty annoying. But I still feel like it's very good, and you need to see it in hand. And going second, it's a really crazy card because you can discard it and then you add a Bestial, and then you can banish one of their things and then summon this. So you can just do it before actually having to commit to a normal summon or anything, which is really nice and just puts on so much offensive pressure. So if you're like cracking boards, you can like use the battle phase more effectively with it. So I really like that. And I play 1 Serenir, 1 Jerusalem, 1 Magnamut. These are the only Bestials you need to play. Any more is a win more. There's so many decks in this format that either lose hard to Bestials or can play through like all the Bestials because they have like all fire monsters, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And so this is why we play minimal Bestials, because these are the amount of Bestials we're going to use on ourselves or on our opponents if we can actually use Bestials against them. So against Labyrinth, like, this is fine. You're also like sighting in bells and whatnot, so you can't really fit more Bestials even if you wanted to, and it's not worth it. So yeah, pretty good card. And then we play triple Imperm for hand traps. Play triple Veiler, triple Ash, and then we play 2 Talents. Next up, I'm going to go over the extra deck. And we're going to go over the side after. So, we're going to play 1 Zeraboros. Zeraboros is an incredibly good card. Essentially, what you can do with it is just wipes the field. And in the grind, it just comes back during your next standby. And it's just really nice. And there are some players that accidentally played into it and just ended up banishing their entire field, which was really funny and won me a few games. And just gets to ridiculous levels of attack. Like, there's my opponent where he desires twice, and he used that like a 10k attack, and I just swung for game, which was really funny. I play the 1 Link Rebo. This card is needed for your combos. It's also good because if you have it on field, which you can sometimes do, is you can protect your SP by attributing it to make their monster 0. So it makes them waste their battle phase. You still have an SP, and you're guaranteed living to get to the next turn, and then you have enough follow-up to turn the game into your favor again. We play the 1 SP. It's SP. I don't really think I need to say too much on this. This card's busted. The only reason we don't play 2 is because there's not enough space. And I kind of don't want to spend the money on 2. 1 was enough. I'm broke enough as it is. Play the 1 IP. You need this for your turn 1 combo. It makes SP. Good card. You know, not much you can do about that. Play the one Dark. Dark was insane. There's times where I wish I had 2 in the grind, but it would have been a win more anyways. But I really like this card. The card was fantastic today. Well, yesterday the regionals. We played the one Boral Sword. I needed something that closes out games, so it was either this or it's access code. And access code, you only get 1 pop because we're only playing darks, and that wasn't as worth it. And so I decided to play Boral Sword instead. And being able to contest game just out of a single push was incredibly important for me. And so that's why I decided it. And it came up once or twice. You can cut it for something else and try to game other ways with like Zeraboros, but I just like to have it just in case, it's a useful tool. Better have it than not need it than need and not have it, right? Long Girsu, some people don't play this card, but I really like to play this card. Simply because you non-target send whatever it points to, and so there's game states to where you can just continuously just send whatever it points to if they play into it, which is really important. And you can also, it's optional to send, so you can just recycle 2, and it's just infinite recycling, and you have infinite grind with this deck. Then you play the 2 Galatea. Galatea is what makes the deck the deck. It sets up to your board turn 1, getting access to Babel, or getting access to Crescendo. And this card's a custom card, I swear. Next, we're going to play 2 Dingirsu. This card was very, very good today. You don't want to play anything lower than 2, in my opinion, because there's times you always want the second one. Like in the grind, you're on like turn 20, and it's like, I could really use another Girsu, and this is why we play 2. And I am so glad I played 2 because it came up like 4 times, and I was very, very happy with that. Next, we play the 1 Typhon, the 1 Zeus. Typhon, I did not use it a single time, which was okay. I just wanted it as a reassurance to make sure I had that option. And the times where I could summon it, it was not the best option to summon anyways. I could recontrol the game state and do other things. And Zeus came up twice, which is something I really liked. I was really worried this card wasn't going to come up, but it ended up coming up more than I realized, and I was really happy with that. Because there's a lot of simplified game states in the game, to where you can go like make Zombie Vampire or make Dingirsu descend, and then you just slap a Zeus on it, and then you just pass, and then you just grind your opponent out of all their resources, which is something I really like. We play the 1 Zombie Vampire. This card essentially can get to your engine. Every time I summoned it, it got impermed. Like every single time. This card has not resolved once for me. But it is what it is, and I'm happy I did have it because it's a powerful card. Being able to summon it's crazy. It puts on a lot of pressure, baits out hand traps. It forces them into weird situations. And you can just slap a Zeus on it anyways, so there's no reason not to play it. It's the only 8 you need. You don't need a Photon Lord. You don't need Harp Harbinger. Those cards are bad. Don't play them. You only need this guy. And then we play the 1 Disputer. There are times this comes up, but I swear every single time I activated Girsu, it was either not a tuner or got impermed. So this card came up absolutely 0 times for me. I'd probably cut this for a Chaos Angel in the future, just because of the ease of access. It's basically a link to that banishes a card. But yeah, that being said, like, this card's still good. Came up a lot in testing and in theory, but in practice, didn't really pay off as well. We play Triple Phantasme. This card was insane. Like, my goodness. In theory, I was very scared that this wasn't going to pay off. But then I played it in practice and everyone was link summoning, and I was like, okay, free Pot of Greed. Also, if they like try to go to an SP, I can negate that. Sign me up. This card was amazing. Also, something really good about this card, it discards. So you can discard a potential Harp Whore or potential Orcust Nightmare, which completely unbricks your hand, or just makes it so you can play through like 10 interruptions easily, which is something I really liked. And then you play Triple Bell. This card is mainly for Labyrinth and Fire King. I did not go against a single Fire King. However, I did go against Labyrinth, and this card came up in clutch, although you have a really easy Labyrinth matchup anyways. But it's really nice reassurance to make sure you have something that's useful. You can cite out Veilers for this. You know, it's always nice to have something like that. And we play Triple Droll. Triple Droll. This card was not as impactful as I thought it would, and I'm really happy I put it in the side. It would have came up one round when I was against what is it called? Mnadium. But I ended up just hand-trapping them to death. They ended on Baron Pass, and I imprimed the Baron, and I end up winning anyways. But draw wouldn't have been bad there anyways. But yeah, you kind of have to play in your side. Like, no reason not to. You play the triple Nibiru, the big rock man. This card's nuts. Came up a few times. I won against Marine Cess because I just nibbed them, and then they're like, I have no follow-up. And then, you know, you just kill them next turn. It's very, very good card. You never cut this in your side. You never do. You play triple droplet. The reason I'm not maining this is because it's not a good going first, and it's only good going second against certain matchups. Against Labyrinth, it kind of sucks to see in your hand because what are you going to negate with it? But I needed something that can help me play against the turn skippers like Crimson Dragon, you know, just random combo BS. But, you know, and this card just is really good. You activate it, you can go like +5 on it because you can discard all the good Orcusts. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Droplet. Very good card.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for doing the deck profile. Any final shoutouts?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my card shop card brawlers for helping me assemble this deck and just being awesome. Shout out to them.
And of course,
And
shout out to your own YouTube channel. Again, I'll
yeah,
link
yeah.
that down below.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you.